We are recording. We are live. Welcome to the X Factor podcast. I'm your host, Jon Rennie. No, that's him over there. Sorry. I'm your host, Coach Brew, and my co-host, riding shotgun over there, is the lovely and talented Jon S. Rennie.
Lovely
And talented.
Not talented.
Did I meant to say ugly and talentless. I said lovely and talented?
You did.
Which do you prefer?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So the lovely and talented Jon Rennie is over there if you're watching on BrewTube. And the bottom square, and I do mean square, is the DFE. Yeah. He is, when I say he's square, what I mean by that is he is not a circle. He is sharp-edged.
Yes.
Sharp whip. And is four-sided.
Yeah.
Very equally distributed in his interests.
Yes.
What are his four interests, John? CrossFit?
CrossFit, animal husbandry.
Needlepoint, animal husbandry, and
what about furniture?
Small children. But he has to stay 500 feet away from the small children.
It's true. Just recently, though. That's a new thing.
For state law. I'm just kidding. He's multidimensional. He's more like he's complex. He's more like a Rubik's Cube than a square.
Yeah, with the side missing.
And colorful.
Yes.
So that's the DFE. And we are the X Factor podcast. We're brought to you by our friends at Bottom Gun Coffee. Check them out at bottomguncoffee.com. It's a great way to get your day going, or if you have that sort of afternoon lull to kind of jumpstart your brain and your body. It's delicious. Yes. Bottomguncoffee.com. It's coffee made and sold by Jon Rennie's kindred spirits, submariners.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Bottom Gun.
Yeah, submarine veterans. Yeah, we the guys that make that coffee. I mean, the guys that spend a lot of time under the water. They drink a lot of coffee. We stand these long watches. We got to try to stay awake. So coffee is a big part of the submarine culture. So it's no surprise that submarine veterans would start a company making coffee. It's Bottom Gun Coffee, bottomguncoffee.com. Amazing stuff. That's what I start my day every day with. And the guys over there are really good to us.
But yeah, you guys are, it'd probably be safe to say that like you're more than kindred spirits. You're probably all in the same boat.
We are all in the same boat, or we would have been. Yes, absolutely.
So
back in the day.
Before we dispense with the pleasantries and start the show, like really start the show in earnest. Now, I'm not sure who Ernest is, but we're going to start the show in him, apparently.
Yes.
John, you have some breaking news. And this is, Parker, this is where you insert like the sound effect, graphic, okay? Breaking news from the from Planet Rennie.
Planet Rennie. Well, it is breaking news. My new book, All in the Same Boat. You know, lead your organization like a nuclear submariner, which just came out, by the way, just hit the Amazon bestseller in the category of workplace culture, which
workplace
is
violence. Is that what you said?
No, workplace culture.
Oh.
So yeah, that was a bit of a surprise this morning. I just went on and looked, and we're ranked number 49 out of the top 100. So
what we're gonna do? You screenshot that, you send it to me, and I will Photoshop out the 9 and make you number 4. Okay,
we could do that, or we could just
do that,
or what we could do is everyone who's listening to this podcast could buy a copy, and we can push myself up to number 1. So
immediately.
Yeah.
Congratulations, John. You are not just a best-smelling author now.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty excited.
You smell like fine Corinthian leather and rich mahogany.
I do. Now, this is crazy. I want to credit the people on Reddit for boosting my sales and getting me above that number. I went on an Ask Me Anything on Reddit on Friday.
#AMA.
Yeah, it was the weirdest experience I've ever done before.
Weirder than when you went cow tipping?
Totally. Yes. Totally.
Wow.
Yeah, it was completely weird. It was 4 hours I spent on Reddit answering questions. And I'll tell you what, the biggest question I got was, how many UFOs have I seen?
under the water.
Under
600
the water.
in the ocean.
It's the weirdest thing. Like, what are people just sitting around thinking about UFOs?
Yep.
I mean, really?
Well, they just released a bunch of like information on UFOs or something.
You know why?
Why?
I don't know.
Because gas is about to go over $5 a gallon. Inflation is insane. Bitcoin just crashed.
Yes.
We better release some more UFO videos.
Yeah.
Look, squirrel. Total diversion tactic by the government.
You know what? You're probably right. That's why. But it was just funny because I didn't see the news, but everybody's asking me about.
They're probably
UFOs.
doing it to distract Joe Biden.
Yeah, probably. But anyways, shout out to the Reddit guys because they really pushed my sales up, and I was really shocked by that this morning. So
Reddit's
shout
the
out
new
to those
Google,
guys. So, say again.
I heard Reddit is the new Google. I
don't know.
I'm kidding. I mean, in terms of like popularity and exposure, and that's great.
Yeah, no, but first time I've really spent any time on that. It was like the old forums back in the early days of the internet. So
Like
it's kind
Penthouse
of
Forum? What are you talking? It's like Penthouse Forum?
Yes, that's what I said. Do they ask me anything?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know, John.
Yes, you wouldn't know. I don't even
So,
know if they have that.
Did anyone ask about your OnlyFans account with the pictures of your feet while you're and like you deadlifting?
No, that wasn't a common question. No. So probably our OnlyFans is not as popular as some. So I think people go there for a particular reason, and male feet are not the Jon
There
Rennie.
are other OnlyFans accounts that are far wilder. I agree.
Oh my.
Far wilder.
On that note,
So we're talking today, episode 29-ish. And we are talking about X Factor foods.
Food.
Shout out to Day One P1
Yes.
listener Dan Lawrence.
Hey, Dan.
East Norwalk, Connecticut fame. Sir Daniel of Lawrence messaged in and recommended, very strenuously, I might add, that we do X Factor foods, and he lobbied for a certain food known as the sandwich. So I want to frame the conversation for you because I didn't choose the sandwich. I went a little more specific. He went macro. I'm going micro in my choice. But sandwich probably is, hands down, the most versatile food.
Yep.
Does that make it X Factor? It's not sharp-edged. It's well-rounded. It's versatile. You could have a breakfast sandwich, like a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. You could have a lunch sandwich that, let's say, is tuna fish or deli meat.
Sure.
You could also have, let's look at Italian food. You can have an Italian entree, like eggplant parm, chicken parm, meatballs. Put it on a roll, and you've got an eggplant parm sandwich. A submarine sandwich, like a submarine or a hoagie roll. If you're from Pennsylvania, it would be a hoagie. If you are from a submarine, it would be a submarine roll, submarine sandwich. So by far, yes, Dan Lawrence, you are correct. The most versatile, agile, mobile, flexible food.
Flexible.
Yeah, flexible, agile, mobile, hostile, versatile food is the sandwich.
I like it.
That's not what I chose. I mean, if we all agreed all the time, there'd be no need for some of us.
True.
So, John.
Yes.
Who went first in the last episode?
Is that the one I was drunk at, or was that a different one?
Drinking. You weren't drunk, you were drinking.
Okay.
You were sipping a fine bourbon. To remain nameless, because we don't have a bourbon sponsor yet. If you are a bourbon company listening to this, and you damn well should be listening to this, that would have been your opportunity for product placement and a live mention of your product.
Right now, we could have been talking about our favorite bourbon is.
We could be talking about how our favorite bourbon pairs really well with Bottom Gun coffee.
Yeah.
What a missed opportunity for you bourbon people.
It's huge. It's such a missed opportunity. We could be talking about bourbon.
Parker, DFE.
Yeah.
Clip this segment and send it to every bourbon company that doesn't suck in America.
That doesn't suck.
There are some that suck. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to give you a fistful.
Yeah, we're not going to.
There are some that suck. We don't want to have anything to do with them. Send it to all the good ones. You know, we are men, gentlemen who enjoy the finer things in life, as are our listeners.
Yeah.
Our listeners are, by and large, veterans.
Yep.
CEOs or in some sort of leadership role, consultants, female, male. Some of John's listeners are, we call it transgender.
Non-binary.
Right? Non-binary, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. I have a very large non-binary crowd.
Non-binocular, yes. And are the type of audience that everyone would want. Credit scores over 850. They own homes. They own multiple vehicles. They own recreational vehicles of all sorts of different sorts. Submarines, maybe. Boats, helicopters, private jets, like a G6, you know? Pretty sure James Elliott owns all those things, a limousine, and he has a tank.
Yep.
Probably.
Did you say cheese sticks?
G6. Sounds like cheese sticks.
It did. I have a cheese sticks. I don't have a G6 though.
So, in all seriousness, we have fabulous listeners who would happily drink your bourbon over someone else's if you're smart enough to get on board now.
Do it.
Yes. Also, on our Anchor, which you can look up the X Factor podcast on Anchor.
Good segue, Parker. Yes.
We have 54% of our listeners on Anchor are female and 45% are male.
I told you I was a chick magnet. You didn't believe me, doubters.
Wow.
But we have 0 non-binary and 0 not specified. 0% on both of those.
So we're more female than male.
Yep. And also, we have from ages 23 to 27, we have 27% of listeners. And from ages 35 to 44, we have 42% of our listeners. And then 45 to 59 is 18% of our listeners.
So only 18% of my fans are cougars? Because that's really what the data reveals. Only 18% of my fans are cougars. That's disappointing. I think there'd be way more cougars on the prowl and on iTunes cutting their teeth.
Didn't we
chomping at the bit on this podcast?
Didn't we do X Factor animals? I think we did.
Yes, we did.
We didn't do cougars.
No.
We should. That would be a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, the X Factor cougars.
Well, thank you for the statistical analysis of the data of all 7 of our listeners. Yep. So basically what that reveals is 4 of the 7 people listening are women.
Wait, there has to be more than 7 because we have more P1s than that. So
true. And like 3 of the set, like, so the 7 people, so basically let's say we have 7 listeners, which is not a stretch, I don't think. 4 of them are female, and we listen to our own podcast, so we're probably the 3 males in that demographic.
That's it.
So essentially, all of our listeners are female. Present company excluded. That is staggering.
It is really amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And some of those broads are young. Who'd have thunk it?
We keep saying broads, we can change the statistics. Suddenly
what you're saying is wenches don't like being called broads?
I don't know.
Ladies, you know I'm kidding. Ladies and those who identify as ladies, you know I'm kidding. We were talking about X Factor foods. We were trying to decide who would go first. Then we got off on some rabbit hole tangent as you guys usually send me down. X Factor foods. I have chosen the greatest food in human history, gentlemen.
The sandwich.
No, that is the most agile, versatile, flexible, and what was the other aisle?
Stomach bile?
Stomach bile. Food, ever.
So what did you choose, Coach Brew?
I'm going to...
Are you still looking
a little bit? I'm going to let our listeners try and figure out what it is, okay?
All right.
What is the... I'm going to ask you, John.
Yeah.
What is the cheapest, most nutritious, and bountiful food that has ever existed in human history? I will give you a hint. It has 390 calories. It contains 23 grams, or half a daily serving for a mere mortal, unlike yourself, who consumes gallons and gallons of protein. It has 7% of your daily fiber and 20% of your daily calcium. You have any idea what it might be, Jon Rennie?
McDonald's cheeseburger.
Yes!
Yes.
It is specifically the McFreaking Double.
Yes.
You know what a foodie I am. You know what a roving gourmet I am. So basically, like, I did all this product testing, and this is something you can get in 14,000 different locations in the United States and costs only $1.
Yes.
It is one of the unsung wonders of modern life.
Yeah.
How no one else is talking about the McDouble is staggering, is beyond me.
Wait, how much is it?
$1.
It's $1.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah. How do I know that?
Actually $1. Wow.
Yeah.
It's Parker dropping an actually.
So one of the reasons I know this is a lot of weightlifters will buy 5 of them. They'll go spend $5 to get massive amounts of gains when they're bulking. So that's one of the most common weightlifter meals.
But wait,
there's more.
fast food makes us fat, right?
Ah.
Not so fast, my friends.
Mm.
Here's the thing, common misnomer. People say, oh, fast food makes you fat. No. Because there was some research done at Northwestern and Cal Berkeley that people who eat out tend to eat less at home that day in compensation for eating out.
Ah.
So the net gain, this is based on study at Berkeley and Northwestern in 2008, the net gain is only 24 calories a day, which is negligible.
Mm.
Yeah, that's nothing.
So this faux outrage about fast food making you a fat is false. If that isn't the cheapest, most nutritious, most bountiful food in human history, somebody prove me wrong. Damn it.
I don't think they can.
Yeah, that is definitely the cheapest for sure. That's
Yeah, and here come like all the voicemails and emails from like the class snobs, locavore foodies, vegans, and militant anti-corporate types.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to try and cancel me on this podcast.
You know, well, I hear people talk about food deserts. You know, where there's you can't get.
Oh, I love food desserts at McDonald's.
No,
McFlurry.
deserts. You talk about.
We pronounce it differently down south. We call them food desserts.
Ah, okay. Well, this
Shamrock shake.
oh yes,
well, there you go.
yes.
That's a great food desert.
Yeah. But what the point is, there is no desert we can't get a McDonald's cheeseburger double. There's no place that you can get it anywhere in the world.
No.
I can get it within 1 mile of my manufacturing plant.
And here's the thing, like for the average American, which with inflation, what it is, gas rapidly approaching $5 around Memorial Day, and a senile, cognitively impaired president, for the average American, aka poor person,
Yes.
they can't afford to go to a farmer's market and like try and be perplexed by like all these esoteric kind of foodie buzzwords and items that are environmentally conscious to women named Karen who spend $300 on hair highlights and nails and waxing of all sorts and Spanx hosiery, but they're super environmentally conscious and only eat organic, grass-fed, non-GMO, free-range, fair trade corn. Like the average American, aka poor person, can't relate to that at all. What can I get for $1? Get a McDouble. Thank you. Junk food, and here's kind of like the good, the bad, and the ugly of this. Junk food costs as little as $1.76 per 1,000 calories. Whereas fresh, organic, free-range, grass-fed, non-GMO, fair trade, all that.
Free range.
Yeah, gluten-free, yada, 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 yakety, smackety, boom, boom, boom. Vegetables and things of that ilk are about 10 times as much in price. We're about $10.76, let's say. Really more than that. What's $1.76 times 10? $17.60. Yeah. That was a University of Washington survey that revealed that. So yeah.
Yeah, no, you think about
I did my homework. I came to play.
Look at world history, right? And how many times have we had famines? We had starvation, people just groups of people starving because there was no food. Look how much calories you can get per dollar with a McDouble. It's an incredible.
Imagine if Ray Kroc would have been around centuries ago.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have had the famines. You wouldn't have had the amount of people have died through starvation. You know. Yep. It's amazing calorie-rich food for the price.
And like part of the problem is produce takes a lot more time to prepare and it spoils faster too.
Right.
Like you're wrestling with that every day in the crisper of your refrigerator. Like, oh crap, we bought all the celery and it's about to go bad,
But I guess my question would be is how does McDonald's make a food that is only worth $1? Like what
volume, margins?
It's probably a loss leader too, where they get you to come in and buy French fries and a soda, and
we've talked about this on this podcast, haven't we?
Seems like we have.
Where like the wizardry behind McDonald's, and if we haven't talked about it, I apologize, because McDonald's is kind of like ESPN isn't really a sports company, they're a research company. McDonald's isn't really a fast food company. They are a behavior modification corporation.
Uh-huh.
You can get a $1 McDouble. You can get a $1 any size drink.
Yep.
Now here's kind of the lesson that's sort of tangential with this X Factor food called the McDouble. Let's shift talking about their drink specials. You get a $1 any size soft drink for a certain amount of time. They run the special at a lot of McDonald's in the summer and spring. In the fall and the winter, it's a $1 any size coffee. They're Newman's Own organic coffee. Now, what happens? Beyond the fact that you don't just go somewhere for a coffee, you're going to get a coffee and a breakfast item. Beyond the fact that you don't just go somewhere for a soda, you're going to get a soda and sandwich or soda and a snack of some sort. There's an upsell. The fries with that kind of upsell, so to speak. But what happens is they take this special, this sale, away after 30 days. Well, typically, most psychologists would agree that it takes about 30 days to form a new habit. Now, here's the funny thing. If you typically get a small because you're on a limited budget and you could get a large for the exact same price, everyone every time is going to go with the large because it makes you feel like you're getting a deal and you're getting one over on the man, corporate America, but they're getting one over on you because within that 30-day window, they've changed how you identify. You no longer identify as a small drinker. In your mind, you're now a large drinker. Right. So if they take that special away and it's $1.97 again, and it's not a loss leader, they're making money on it, you're still going to get the large in most cases. And they've created a habit that you will keep going back there.
Yep.
That's the genius of it. And that's kind of the genius of McDonald's. And let's be honest. Is their food healthy by and large? No. Are you better off eating a salad? Yeah. However, they're a really successful X Factor company because of how They understand the human psychology because of how they kind of bundle and package and upsell. And like you said, John, have a loss leader. They create products out of their unused capacity. You know how the McDonald's hash brown came to be?
Yeah.
They're pushing all those potatoes through the cutter to make the French fries, and they found they get scraps, a pile of scraps on the ground. So they mashed those scraps that normally used to get thrown away into patties and fried them and started selling hash browns. And that's the McDonald's breakfast was created to sell hash browns, which quickly became their most profitable item because it used to go to waste.
Yeah, it used to be thrown out.
Yeah, I mean, McDonald's company. They really are.
McDonald's hash brown is so good. I haven't had one of those in forever, but that is a good thing.
Yeah, me either. I haven't had one of those in so long.
Yeah. But I think the amount of calories you can get per dollar is it, and how they can do that is I think it definitely is X factor, because I think it's, like you said, people who cannot afford a lot of food, people who are poor, people who are inner city, what have you, you can get a calorie rich meal for very little money. And that's something that only McDonald's has done in the history of the world.
Yeah. And the rest of you can throw your Birkenstocks on. You can hop into your Prius, go to the farmer's market, and get as much kale as you want.
Have you ever had kale, Coach Brew?
I confess, I have had kale.
Did you like it? Was it good?
I don't eat it as a standalone item. I'll put a fistful of it in my green juice that I make, like a fresh pressed green juice in the morning, or I'll throw either baby spinach or a handful of kale in my protein shake in the blender. So you don't taste it, but you get the nutrients, you know?
A fistful of kale. That could be a new protein shake.
Yeah. It's kind of weird though, because kale is like by itself is a very strong tasting like green, but like when you throw it into like a shake or something, you don't taste it at all.
And the funny thing is, kale is an example of great marketing. Like some foodie somewhere, some farming lobbyist convinced the world kale is super nutritious. It's not anywhere near as nutrient dense as romaine lettuce,
which isn't very nutrient.
If you looked at the comparison, romaine lettuce is more nutritious.
Yeah.
But somebody convinced you kale's where it's at.
Yeah.
Well, I've always
it's like our attention span as Americans, we're just really short. And so we have to be chasing whatever's the latest, the greatest, and whatever Oprah tells us we got to be eating. So I think that kale was the latest thing.
What were you saying?
I don't know. You got distracted. Oh,
hey.
Hey, what's happening?
Sweet. Yeah. So JR, what's your X Factor food if it ain't the McDouble?
I thought you were showing off your haircut. I wasn't sure what all that flex.
You have a new haircut.
I do like it. You got a good fade. So I want to talk about a food, and that's a great food, by the way. That is a good choice, and I didn't choose a hamburger or anything from McDonald's. I chose a food that I craved every time I was out to sea. When I was out to sea, I'd be gone for
Mega Mass 2000.
No, but it's close.
Muscle milk.
So I would be gone for like 3 months, almost 100 days at a time.
Pre-workout?
And
what? Pre-workout?
No, not pre-workout.
What if they made bourbon flavored pre-workout?
Oh shoot! I think we're on. Wait.
You might somehow find a way to clone yourself.
Parker, you need to take this out of the podcast, and we need to work on this as a design, as a company. We need to start this. You know how many weightlifters drink bourbon? I mean, this is next level. Anyways, the food I craved when I was out at sea, and I couldn't wait to get back and have some, is the food I want to talk about today. And it's not hamburger, and it's not pre-workout, it's not muscle mass. It's pizza. Pizza to me is the ultimate food. And here's why. It's been around forever, and it keeps getting better, and it keeps getting different, and people keep working on it, and they keep modifying it. And I don't know that it ever will not be a food in our staple. It is an X factor food. When I was on undersea, serving our country under the ocean, I craved one thing when I got home, and that was a pizza. That's all I wanted, was have a good pizza. This is a food that goes all the way back to the Romans. I mean, they had these flatbread focaccia bread that they ate, and eventually this, came into Italian culture. And, it was very famous in Naples, Italy in the 18th and 19th century. Flatbread dishes with sauce and some vegetables was a very popular dish. And the word pizza comes from the Latin root picia, which means the blackening of crust by fire. And it was first documented in AD 997 AD. So that's how far it goes back, right? And traditionally, it was mostly Italians and Italian immigrants who ate pizza until World War II. In World War II, all of the troops over there got their first taste of pizza, and then it brought it all the way to America, to Australia, to England, to the entire world, based on what happened in World War II. And now it's a main food for America. 94% of Americans eat pizza regularly. I mean, we don't agree on anything, but we agree that pizza is a good food for Americans. And it's
what do you mean we don't agree on everything? Sure we do.
We don't agree on much.
We do. Yes, we do.
What do we agree on?
I don't know. I was just disagreeing with you for the point.
No, but here's something I really like about pizza is that it represents 17% of all restaurants. So that's a fairly good sizable number.
That's impressive.
Yeah. But
does that include Italian joints that also serve like other entrees and happen to have pizza on their menu? Or is it specifically pizzerias?
Pizzerias only represent 17% of all restaurants.
Impressive.
Yeah.
That's even more significant.
But let me tell you this. This is what I like most about it. 53% of those restaurants are independent pizzerias. They're owned by a mom and pop. They are mom and pop companies. They are independent entrepreneurs who say, I can make a pie.
Backbone of America.
It's backbone of America. This is an entrepreneur's food. This is an entrepreneur's business. And think about it. Think about all the different styles.
It's multi-generational too.
Absolutely. You think about some of the pizzerias in New York City. And they just generation after generation making the same pizzas in the same traditional ways. And, think about the different styles of pizza. How many styles of pizzas can you think of? There's, you got the deep dish in Chicago style, right? You've got the New York City, the thin, you've got the California bar style. Pizza. So what's that?
You got bar pizza. You got Sicilian. You got
Sicilian pizza
slices.
Yep.
You got like novelty slices that are like dessert pizzas.
Dessert pizzas. You've got the barbecue pizzas.
And the kind that they put the baked ziti on top. That's actually pretty good.
Or like
have you ever had a slice of pizza with baked ziti on top?
No, but if you're gonna eat pizza, might as well have pasta too. I mean,
carbo loaded.
Go all in.
Carbo loaded.
But you think about how many varieties and how many restaurants became famous for their style of pizza, their type of pizza, And so there's both large corporations that compete in the space, but there's a lot of mom and pop and local restaurants. And think about this, and this is kind of cool. I want to share this with you. The highest grossing single unit independent pizzeria in the nation. Where do you think it is?
I'm not going to say New York City because there's a lot of good pizza in New York, but there's just as much bad pizza because there's so many pizzerias.
There's so many. There's a lot of competition.
It's got to be like
choose a place where there's not a lot of competition, and you'll get it right.
Vermont.
That's close. It's Alaska. So it's called
Alaska.
The highest grossing single unit independent pizzeria in the nation is called the Moose's Tooth Pub and Pizzeria, and it's in Anchorage. And it's annual.
Is there a military base in Anchorage?
Yes, there is.
So you have a lot of transplants who are not native Alaskans.
Yes.
You're not catering to Inuits. You're not putting whale blubber on your pizza.
Right.
You're making a traditional pizza like transplants would get anywhere else in America. It makes a ton of sense that it's wildly popular there.
It's wildly popular. They get annual sales of $6 million. And when I was up there, I actually took my family there, and we had to go there because I knew how famous it was, and it was an amazing pizza, and it was a cool place. But yeah, think about this too. Dave Portnoy, right? The Barstool Sports founder. Everybody
shout out
knows
to Barstool Sports and the One Bite Pizza Review app.
Yeah. So think about the One Bite Pizza Review app. That thing is crazy. They have 431,000 subscribers, more than 150 million views. And Dave, he actually ate a slice of pizza every day for 2 years when he was building up that.
And continues to do so.
Yep.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
It's just proof also, too, that what he's done, riches in niches. Like, did anyone in the Silicon Valley or in the tech space think in a million years you could get how many millions of views did you say?
146 million views views.
Yeah. I guarantee you none of them ever thought something as simple as a review of a plain, traditional, like plain slice of pizza would garner that kind of traffic and popularity. Yeah. So it's just proof also there's riches in niches.
Absolutely. And actually that's part of the lesson too, is you can take an old idea and you can make it better and you can make money doing it. And how old is pizza? We said it goes all the way back to 997, right? AD, but yet people are still trying to make it better, trying to make it different, having their own unique spin on it. Regions of the country have their own way that they make it. You as an entrepreneur, if you want to start a pizza shop right now, you could come up with your own pizza, your own way of doing it, and you could possibly be as successful as the Moose's Tooth Pub, depending on what you do and where you're at. But I think this is an X Factor food. I think it really
100%. Yep.
It came from Italy. World War II really brought it to our shores, and it's become an American food. It's become, I think, just like anything else, things come from all over the world, and they end up in America.
It's like Italian cultural appropriation. Like people associate pizza with America. Right. It's like a little slice of freedom in every bite.
It is. We Americans, we take things from all over the world, we make them better, and we kick butt and we take names.
Except for K-pop music.
We haven't figured that out yet.
We don't want to.
But so now that's the question. Now the question. All right. The question that's going to get controversy. And that is certain ingredients. Certain ingredients garner a lot of love and hate. But no ingredient causes more hate and love than pineapple. So the question is, Coach Brew, are you a pineapple or a non-pineapple guy?
I love pineapple on everything but pizza.
Okay.
Pineapple does not go on pizza.
All right. So you're part of 24% of Americans who believe that pizza should never, ever belong on, pineapple should never, ever belong on pizza.
I'm a purist. I'm a traditionalist. Yes.
Parker, how about you? Pineapple or yay or nay on pizza?
Yes. A Hawaiian pizza, what is it? The pineapple and ham? Oh, yeah, and so jalapenos. Good. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're part of, if you say that pineapple is one of the top 3 ingredients on a pizza, you're part of 12% of Americans say that.
You're a big part of the problem, Parker. You're a huge part of the problem.
It's really funny. I'll see people get into fights on Twitter about pineapple and pizza. It's the funniest thing.
You've probably seen me do this. We all follow certain people who love to ask questions, searching for like business or life advice or leadership wisdom. There's like this popular question: what's the best piece of advice you would give a millennial or a young graduate or a rising emerging leader? What's the best piece of business advice you give anyone? What do you know now that you wish you knew sooner in life? I always reply to that tweet with all caps: pineapple does not belong on pizza. You would not believe the engagement, the argument, the hate that gets spewed from both sides in the replies. It's like I hijacked that whole question. That whole tweet gets hijacked because I mentioned a pineapple does not belong on pizza.
It's one of the biggest controversies in food in America, and it's hard. People either absolutely love it or absolutely hate it. It's a Trump syndrome, right? You either absolutely love Trump or you absolutely hate him. There's no in between, right? I mean, it's that pineapple.
Tell you what, I sure could go for $1.98 gas and the mean tweet right about now.
Yeah, the mean tweets though, those had to go. It was somewhat like America's so much better now. I can take, my wife said, take me someplace expensive. I brought her to Lowe's hardware and we went in the lumber aisle, so yeah, that's nice. So it's been good to have a new president. So, but I can't afford much. But anyways, I think
we're at the point right now with the crypto crash that a piece of plywood's worth more than a Bitcoin.
Well, I did sell all my shares of Doge today, so after riding it all the way up, I doubled my money, and now I came back to. I think I still was up, but it was. I said I'm done with this little game. So
fake business. You gotta love fake business.
Yeah,
fake business. I had fun with it. I had doubled my money and made $500, but now I'm down. So I was still up 200, but. But anyways, pizza I think is a X factor food just because of the nature of it. The fact that I think it's the entrepreneur's food. I think people are starting.
Can we agree to compromise on something, John?
All right, go ahead.
Something you never answered the question about pineapple. What's your stance?
I'm pro pineapple. Yeah,
socialist.
But no. But listen to this. So it says if
you're being overly inclusive, John.
Well, the older you are and the more northeast you are, the less likely you will to like pineapple. So the more, as you go west, closer, to California, you're going to be more pro pineapple, and younger and more Western people are pro pineapple.
So you're saying you're young and Western.
I'm old and northeast.
I can tell by your cowboy hat and the fact you don't have any gray in your beard. You're super young and Western. So can we agree on one thing? And this will make we're about to make the Uber Deluxe X Factor food.
Yes.
A deconstructed McDouble, chopped up on a slice of plain pizza.
That's it.
Take off the bun and just deconstruct, chop up, and spread out. A couple McDoubles on a plain pizza
for $1.
There you got something
amazing.
Yep,
that's it. That way, then you would have the double X factor. You would have to wear double X clothes after eating it too.
Yeah. Triple X factor would be a video of us eating that naked. And that would be available on our OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/the X Factor podcast. That and pictures of Jon Rennie's feet while he's deadlifting and snorting protein powder.
Yes.
And that's a wrap.
The premium level of our OnlyFans is actually footage, not footage as in feet, like camera footage of Jon Rennie rolling around naked in pre-workout.
Like a scene from what's the
Free Willy? I think this episode's over.
I think Free Willy. That's it.
I think
that's the wrap.
You had me at Free Willy. So this has been the X Factor podcast. We'd like to encourage you to like, comment, review, subscribe. Jingle our bells for the notifications on YouTube and subscribe. But more importantly, the way any great empire has been constructed, like that pizza place in Anchorage, Alaska, and the McDonald's brand before it grew to 14,000 locations through word of mouth.
Yep.
Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. We need haters. We don't have enough haters. Yeah. Tell people you hate to listen to us.
Yeah.
Tell people you like and love to listen to us. But spread the good word. That is a great way for us to make you a P1 listener if you are spreading the gospel according to X Factor.
Yes. And keep giving us ideas for episodes. I think this one was fun. Food. I think
Shout out Dan Lawrence.
Yeah,
Again.
so this was a good one. I think next episode is also user or listener submitted. So,
Yep.
So listen into that one coming up.
X Factor Disney Princesses.
X Factor Disney Princesses. So I'm gonna try to do my best without losing my man card.
You have a man card?
I do. You don't have one?
I do. Who let you have a man card? Who gave you a man card?
I just filed for one. I had to show a picture.
My man card's bigger and it works. That was a Trump quote. He said that to Kim Jong-un about his nuclear weapons button.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been the X Factor podcast, brought to you by Bottom Gun Coffee, bottomguncoffee.com. And subscribe, rate, review, do all that good stuff. Tell your friends, tell your enemies. And if you got any suggestions for us, X Factor topics, we'd love to include yours. You can get argumentative with us about it and leave a voicemail at thexfactorpodcast.com stating your case for your X Factor topic. And John is over here waving books in the air.
You know, one way you can support the show is buy our books. Both Coach Brew and I are best-selling authors. You can buy Beyond Stadium Status. So you can buy
Parker.
Boat.
Yeah, Parker, what you want to do is clip this and screenshot just the picture of John, because what he's holding up right now is a best-selling book and a worst-selling book.
What?
But I sure do have a T-shirt empire this year. It's my worst-selling book, but I sure do have a T-shirt empire, a budding T-shirt empire.
You do. You do. That's a great book. It's a great book. I encourage more people to buy it. If they haven't bought it yet, they're missing out.
Secret. It is a best-kept secret.
I think it is. It's a phenomenal book. And I think I went through one highlighter going through it. So I encourage people to get it.
So I think we could end this episode on one last thing.
What's that?
If the listeners could comment down below, or actually send in voicemails with what I'm about to ask you, or just tweet us in an absolute rage. Does pineapple belong on pizza? Answer that.
The answer will be yes.
Doesn't belong on pizza any more than a senile geriatric belongs in the White House.
All right. I think that's...
Bye.
Take care.
Guys, are you tired of feeling sluggish and out of shape, falling behind the competition? Are you losing critical performance when and where it matters most? Well, I felt the same way before I started listening to the X Factor podcast. Now I have more energy, more stamina, and more success in the bedroom.